Well, good evening, everyone. Welcome to Out on the Ranch with Dr. Lee. You never know what's going to happen when the cameras are rolling and you have absolutely no script whatsoever, especially when your subject matter is 102 years old. I think you guys are going to really enjoy this video with Uncle Floyd here. It made me cry. I think it'll make you cry too. I hope you like it.
Go from here. We just talk about everything now.
Yeah. Floyd, another thing too, I remember talk about mineral wells and everyone coming there for the medicinal value of the drinking water as well as the baths, the bathhouses. That was a huge thing there too, right?
Oh yeah.
And tell me what the magic was in the water.
Well, the magic was it acted as a cathartic.
Right.
And it kept everybody cleaned out, made them healthy and feel good.
It was full of magnesium, is that correct?
That's right. It had a lot of magnesium in it and other minerals.
So it was like taking a big laxative, and all these older sick people, that's one thing they really needed was just to have a good bowel movement, and they felt a hell of a lot better.
That's exactly right. But the reason it was, the Crazy Hotel was named the Crazy Hotel. And crazy water, the mineral water they call it crazy water. Way back in time, there was a family traveling in a wagon, and the woman was insane. Mm-hmm. And they come across this little creek, and they stopped there and camped, and they started drinking the water. And later on, this mineral water that they were drinking cured this woman of being crazy. So they say.
So they say.
And so that's the way Mineral Wells got the name.
Yeah.
I know where the original well is in Mineral Wells, and I know the exact spot, and I bet there's not many people alive that know now, but it's right up on the north side of the Crazy Hotel, about 6 feet out in the middle of the street before that first well was.
I'll be.
I can point just about to the spot.
So they capped the first well and put a street over it.
Well, that was many, many years later.
Yeah.
And they had they built a hexagon hotel there, and there was only 2 hexagon hotels built in the whole world. One of them is in Europe, and one of them is in Mineral Wells.
Wow.
I'm sorry to say the Hexagon Hotel is now gone. The lady that owned it lived up in New York or someplace, and she gave it to a man to tear down just for the lumber.
Oh, my goodness.
And I'll tell you, that made me sick when I found out about that.
It was a very posh hotel, was it not?
You remember seeing it, don't you?
Yes, I do.
Yeah,
yes, I do.
It was something.
Yeah.
It's really good.
Yeah.
Oh, let's see.
Yeah, about the time I came along, the value of mineral wells was no longer in the mineral water, but it was a military base.
Right.
Fort Walters and Camp Walters, which became Fort Walters, was there.
Right. My daddy was the Carpenter's Locals agent for that, and he was also on the ration board, and being a farmer and a carpenter all his life, he wasn't accustomed to pressure, and they sent several thousand carpenters in there overnight to build that thing because they wanted to get it built in a hurry.
And this is Camp Walters?
This is Camp Walters.
The military base?
Right. And my dad, they wouldn't let him eat, they wouldn't let him sleep, they was always after him, and it just drove him crazy.
Yeah.
And later on, he had a heart attack and died from it at age 56.
Wow. Tell me about, you were in Florida in the Navy at that time.
I was.
And tell us about coming home when you heard he was sick and being on the.
All right. I put in my form for leave early in the morning.
And excuse me. How did you hear about your father being sick, and then get into that?
All right. My father's brother, my Uncle Ole, called me one morning and told me that my dad was sick, and if I wanted to see him live, I better get home as soon as I could. So I immediately went and put in for leave, and I waited and I waited and I waited all day long, and I had an opportunity to catch a naval air transportation plane to Dallas, and that all disappeared because the officer of the day never would sign my papers. So finally, about 6 o'clock in the evening, I went up to him, went up to the officer of the day, and I told, and explained what the situation was, and I said, I've been waiting all the day for this, and I said, if you don't sign these papers, I'm going anyway. So he signed them, and I got on the train. It took me about 3 days to get home. Well, I was traveling across Alabama, I believe, and I was reading a book, and all of a sudden I put my book down, and I knew my daddy had died. And when I got to Houston, my wife met me at the train station, and she didn't say anything, and on the way to the car, she said, Floyd? I said, you don't have to tell me, I already know. Yeah. And he had died within about 20 minutes of that time.
I'll be.
And so the Lord was letting me know that my dad was gone.